I'll say this, he's well suited to physical labor.
That's a nice way to put it.
Fitz spends most of his time alone in the greenhouse, but I heard he's been breeding experimental flowers.
Yeah.
In secret.
Whoa, scandal.
I just wonder if he's getting rest.
Yeah, scandal.
Professor Pointer's a respectable astronomer. Keeps himself to himself.
Oh, well.
What?
We're just surprised.
That was the most polite you've been about anyone.
What should we ask her about?
Who's that?
Not sure. It doesn't really look like anyone we've met so far.
Strange. Some breed of amphibious humanoid. Potentially bipedal. Although none of the statues show the creature's feet.
I guess we'll never know. This belongs to you, Hawkshaw?
Correct.
And, what is it?
It's my handheld microscope for up-close investigation work.
What
So
do
there
you
was a
magnify?
telescope.
Trace particles, dust, oils, clothing fibers.
Have you used it here at Tangle Tower?
I have. I used it to examine the greenhouse only 2 days ago.
What were you looking for?
You said you weren't in there.
That is between myself and my client.
He said that you weren't in there.
Poppy has remarkable musical talent. She could be famous, wealthy even, if she wanted to.
She'd probably have to leave Tangle Tower first.
Quite. 314 cases solved.
300?
And 14. Did you get anything useful out of him?
Not sure. What about you?
Nothing worth committing to paper.
I think he knows more than he lets on.
Probably. Talking with him is so tedious.
Yeah, I do like him
Quite
though.
the stoic statue, isn't she?
Yeah.
I can only dream of being as cold and indifferent as Flora Fellow.
You think she's hiding something?
Perhaps. She has some strange habits. I heard she barely sleeps, an hour here or there, sporadically. Spends the rest of her time staring up at the sky. The paint is still wet.
Yeah, well, we know Freya was in the middle of painting when she was killed.
Do you know that? How? Because you were told?
Oh.
Conveniently left anonymous. It's useless until you can prove to whom it concerns. Can you do that?
No?
No.
He's asking me to detect
Have you
stuff.
deciphered the meaning of those 4 symbols on the harp?
We're working on it.
That's a no, then. You truly consider this a case file?
What's wrong with it?
No organization, no system.
That's my style. I like seeing everything laid out. Yeah, it helps me think.
How quaint.
Tangle Tower?
Tangle Tower. No idea why they insist on calling it that. It's not even a tower. It's little more than a pair of turrets stuck on either side of a mansion.
Have you searched the whole place?
I believe so. Why?
He wants to know if you found any secret rooms.
Huh. I'm afraid the residents of Tangle Tower are far too ordinary for anything like that.
There's secret rooms!
Pointed too.
I want the secret rooms!
A photograph of Freya. Could be important. Where did you find this?
Do you have any theories about where this might have been?
Or who might have had it.
I have several theories, but they are my theories, and I'm not going to share them.
Ah.
Is that a clue?
Dunno. It was important enough to be framed, though.
I framed my law degree, doesn't make it a clue.
Same? Yeah.
Yeah.
A book from the library, one of hundreds. What makes this one special?
It's about birds.
Yes, I see that.
Okay. She's not going to be any more helpful, I don't think.
I find her rather embarrassing, little more than a spoilt child.
Penny must be at least 25.
27, just makes it worse. Considerably intelligent.
Uh-huh.
Powers of observation are enviable, but she has no ambition. No focus.
In her defense, she's still a teenager.
Barely.
Okay.
There's something about Hawkshaw's handheld microscope. Something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
Suspicion.
This little microscope thing, you said you used it to search the greenhouse.
And this would make perfect sense if you knew what my client had asked me to find. Of course, I still have no intention of disclosing that information.
You're such a tease, Hawkshaw. Don't worry, we already worked out what you're searching for.
She is searching for... What has Hawkshaw been hired to find? The golden beetle.
You're not as hopeless as you look.
Thanks.
So, that's what you were looking for in the greenhouse? This beetle?
Surely even you can understand the logic of it. The greenhouse is home to a great many insects. The gardener could have easily kept the beetle hidden in there.
Well, Fitz said you questioned him, but didn't actually search the greenhouse.
He is not exactly the type to appreciate subtlety. He simply didn't notice that I was using my microscope.
What do you reckon, Grimoire?
I know for a fact she didn't use the microscope in the greenhouse. It's not a microscope at all.
All of a sudden, Detective Grimoire is some kind of expert on microscopes.
Yes, I am. For a telegraphic lens is part of the handheld microscope. So Hawkshaw lied about it.
A telescopic lens is a part of the handheld microscope, so Hawkshaw lied about it. Nope.
No, what? The handheld microscope, according to Fifi, uses a telescopic lens. Okay, I can say that too. That's the same. That's the same in my face, in my eyes, in the eyes of my face, and my mouth. The words that are coming out.
The handheld microscope, according to Fifi, uses a telescopic lens, so Hawkshaw lied about it.
Damn
I'm
Skippy.
inclined to believe Fifi when it comes to stuff like this.
Yep.
Hawkshaw, why did you lie about owning a telescope?
When you were a child, what did you aspire to become?
A detective? Naturally.
Emperor of the Galaxy?
I wanted to be an astronomer.
Really?
I harbored a desire to understand the secrets of the wider universe. A fool's errand, to be sure, but a seductive one. At 15, I decided instead to apply my intelligence to the world around me. And so, I became a detective. But the yearning for elusive knowledge is a powerful force. I tried to keep it with me.
Sorry, but we're way off track. What's the deal with the little telescope?
A memento from my childhood. Little more than a toy.
Why did you bring it with you?
When I discovered that it was Professor Pointer who had hired me, I dared to consider it something of a planetary alignment. I had hoped he might sign my telescope. An extremely childish indulgence, I admit.
I never would have guessed.
Hold on. You're admitting you didn't use it in the greenhouse then?
Correct. As it happens, I have no need to search the greenhouse to such a degree. Professor Pointer doesn't consider the gardener a suspect in our theft investigation.
In our.
Things have become complicated. My lead suspect is your murder victim.
Interesting. Okay. I've just noticed this giant
Seen
mushroom.
a mushroom that big before?
Not in real life.
This real life.
Tools. Used by a gardener. For gardening.
Thanks.
It's Fifi and Freya.
Don't you think Poppy should be in the photo too?
Maybe, maybe not. She doesn't really like crowds.
2 people isn't a crowd.
Right, but if she was in the photo, then it'd be 3.
Checkmate.
That it? That's all we're going to ask him about? So I guess we go to places where there are contradictions. And then we go and find a suspicious thing. So, the most unanswered questions are with Poppy at the moment, I think.
This is a photo of Fifi and
Found the other half.
Yeah,
How come you're not in it? You're friends with them too, aren't you?
I'm not really one for photographs.
Fifi looks like she really admires Freya.
Fifi's loyalty to Freya is unshakable.
This is a photo of Fifi and Freya, right?
Yeah,
Sorry, I thought I wanted to look at the picture again for a quick second. Okay.
There's something about that diary we found in Fifi's room. Something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
That is in that photo? That this star book is the same star book that Freya's got. That's what it is.
Is this your diary, Fifi? We found it in your bedroom.
Of course it is mine. Ridiculous question.
Why is it locked up like that?
You seriously require an explanation.
Yes.
Very well. A fairly common concept, the so-called secret diary, is favored in particular by girls between the ages of 10 and...
So, there are secrets written in here?
Haha.
This particular diary is unused.
It doesn't look unused.
It's somebody else's diary.
How could you arrive at that conclusion? It is kept in my bedroom. It is mine.
We need a clue to compare with the diary. Something to prove who the original owner was.
Shaboom! Done.
Let's take a closer look at this.
Yo. This bitch is this bitch.
This blue book is the same thing as the secret diary, which proves it belonged to Freya.
You were hiding Freya's diary in your room, and you kept it locked too.
Why would I do either of these things?
Because why would Fifi be hiding Freya's diary? Because Fifi didn't want anyone to see personal secrets within Freya's diary.
Fifi didn't want anyone to see personal secrets within Freya's diary.
Is this true, Fifi?
I know Freya was your friend, but if you're trying to hide something...
Tell me your
You
truths!
did not know Freya, so this might be difficult to understand. She did her own thing, in her own way. By concealing Freya's written accounts, it is simply my intention to preserve her innocence.
Innocence?
Might be easier if you just let us read the diary, Fifi.
Very well. I will open it. However, as you read it, please remember, Freya was the most kind and the most wise person I have ever known.
Alright, Fifi unlocked the diary.
Okay.
Finally. What's in there?
In the back. It's back. In the flesh this time. Was it me? Did I let it out? Maybe I should rip up that painting. Soulbearer works. Impressive little thing. I have 2 now. Need 2 more. Found my way into the middle. Surprisingly simple compared to the harp. I saw them. All 5. Eyes blacked out. Despite everything, I still have a promise to keep. I'll do my best. She do with it. Doesn't make sense. No idea. Something to do with those statues? And what's Soulbearer? And what does she have 2 of? Especially this thing with the harp.
I'm still not sure about this.
Should we take another look?
Alright, what we got? Like a dancey thing, a chain, and a bell. Dancey thing.
Let's come back later.
Not resolved yet.
Dearest Flora, a remarkable woman. Oh, yes. Been married over 20 years now.
You two still get on?
Of course. What a question.
She hasn't gone quiet on you.
It's true she has an independent streak. She's had it her whole life. She's the youngest of 3. Always something of a lone wolf, you know? Just the way she is.
Lone wolf is putting it lightly. She doesn't seem to want to talk to anyone.
She just likes time to herself, away from the company of other humans.
Other humans?
Well, yes, other people, you know. Uncommonly skilled as an artist, but Freya was so much more than her talent. She helped me get started with my own painting, you know. It taught me what she knew about wood carving, too. Tremendous patience. She was ever so good with dear Flora.
Freya and Flora were close?
Oh, yes, especially recently.
How are you related to Freya?
Somewhat distantly, as it happens. My father, Lordfellow, was her grandfather. Technically, that makes her a fellow. Let's just say there was some discussion over whether she ought to carry the name at all. There's a family tree in the Grand Hall. You should take a look at it.
What about her inheritance?
Freya's parents died when she was around 3 years old. She came to live here shortly afterwards.
Nobody left her a thing?
I'm afraid not. She had no formal claim over anything at Tangle Tower. My daughter Fiona, our little burgeoning genius. You've met her?
We did.
We did.
She's going by Fifi these days.
So I've heard. I asked her some weeks ago, what's wrong with your real name? She told me, get this, she wanted a name with an even number of syllables. She makes up the strangest things when she's under pressure.
What makes you think she made that up?
I happen to know the real reason she prefers Fifi over Fiona.
Oh, yeah?
It's
Because
really
what Freya called her. Yeah.
Fitz? I don't trust him. He's slippery. Never commits to anything. Brain like an onion.
Did you two have an argument?
Oh, no. But my daughter doesn't like him at all. And I trust Fiona's judgment entirely. She's a very vigilant young woman. Percival Pointer. Good old... So, what do you reckon? Is he the murderer?
I don't know, maybe. We still need...
That is not information we're willing to share at this time.
I'm just saying, keep an eye on him. Holds on to a lot of bitterness, does old Pointer. Just because he's always struggled to support his family. Slightly pathetic, really.
And how long have you known him?
Over 35 years.
Childhood friends? Rivals?
Don't know if I'd do him the honor of considering him my rival. Quite the character, eh? A fellow member of the Order of the Crimson Cloak.
Is that a real thing?
No, I just meant to, because we both wear,
Where,
you know, red
capes.
Of a sort.
Has she questioned you yet?
If you call that questioning, she seemed bored by everything I had to say. I heard on the grapevine, supposedly Hawkshaw is searching for some rare item. Something called the Golden Beetle. Honestly, it's probably a bunch of sensationalist rubbish.
You reckon?
Quite sure. There is no treasure called the Golden Beetle.
How do you know?
Because I would have heard of it.
Okay, so what if we show him the golden beetle?
What's this all about? Some kind of rare jewel?
I'm pretty sure the research is about a real insect.
If it's made of gold, then it's made of gold. Poppy's a good friend to my daughter. Always has been. I think they get on well because they're so... different.
Different, like how?
Poppy is, she's quite introspective. Feelings. Fiona, not so much. Still, Poppy always seems to be sulking about something.
The heavy, heavy price of emotional intelligence.
The heavy, heavy price of emotional intelligence.
Penelope seems to have really settled into a groove. She struggled a bit when she was younger. Always a little estranged.
How come?
Well, she was mostly raised by her uncle, and he really only makes time for his own daughter. Now, of course, she's bringing the two families together through her marriage. It's a nice gesture, heartfelt, but futile.
Oh, is that why they're engaged? Just to keep the families together?
You're the one currently basking in his presence. You tell me.
Let's move on.
Rather ugly, isn't it, as far as statues go? Years of wind and rain have not been kind to it either.
Do you know what it is? The creature, I mean.
It's connected to the Remington family history in some way.
Oh.
But I can't recall. What's this?
It's my case
What?
file.
It's my case file.
It's how I know what I'm supposed to be doing.
You
Yeah.
mean to say you're bound by the limits of what's written in this little document? Sounds dreadful.
I found it comforting.
Charming, isn't it? Yes. Built by the Remington family originally. Dear Flora's father and his associates.
But now it's owned by you? By the fellow family?
The Fellows and the Pointers have both come to claim a certain degree of ownership.
And who named it Tangle Tower?
Flora chose the name.
What does it mean?
I think it was her intention that it mean nothing at all. Something of a fresh start.
From what?
This really isn't for me to say.
What it used to be called.
She had some kind of disagreement with her siblings. After they moved away, Flora changed the name of the house. I think perhaps she hoped it would make them feel unwelcome, yes, less likely to come back.
That's kind of extreme.
Yeah.
Yes, it is rather.
Yes, just sir.
That looks like it might belong to Poppy. I'm as confused as you are. It's unlike her to leave paint on the brush.
I think we'll give her a pass, given the circumstances.
Ah, yes.
Just come back from the dead, clean your brush.
It would have been a beautiful painting. It's rather a shame Freya was unable to finish it.
Nothing about it seems strange to you.
Well, all these modern paintings are slightly strange, aren't they? The emotion of the piece taking over from, say, anatomical accuracy.
What about the knife in Flora's hand?
A knife? That's what you see?
You don't?
Well, as I was saying, Freya's artistic approach distorts certain shapes. Hard to say exactly what we're looking at. Looks like Freya's paints.
Do you know why the parts are cracked down one side?
No, that's very odd. They're normally in excellent condition.
You seem pretty sure about that. Does Flora normally keep something in here?
She must do, but I admit I've never managed to work out what.
Why not just ask her?
I feel like if somebody keeps something locked away in a ceramic egg, it's because they don't want to be asked about it.
Rules to live by.
Why don't you ask Fiona about that one? Looks like her area of expertise. That looks like it might belong to Fitz.
Oh, you're just gonna name who it belongs to?
I've never seen that before. Looks valuable.
PP and FF. But PP could be any of the pointers, and FF could be any of the fuckers.
Oh dear.
Do you know who this is?
Not a clue.
No one knows.
My daughter Fiona and her best friend. They grow up so fast.
Do you know why it's ripped like that?
Ah, yes. I didn't even notice. No idea.
Oh.
Is that a clue? Really?
It might be. The statue was up in the rooftop garden.
Yes, it's been there a while. You can see the brass is slightly tarnished by the elements. But it's not too bad. Might be salvageable.
Might be salvageable.
Goodness me! That looks like it might belong to Fitz.
Yeah, okay.
Bizarre things, aren't they? Penelope seems rather attached to them.
Do you not feel sorry for them in that little cage?
Come now, I'm sure they could leave if they really wanted to. I've never been one for music.
What's that?
Why not ask Poppy instead? Now this is still in very good condition.
That's inside.
The crack, of course.
What about those shards on the inside of the horn?
Looks like somebody broke a glass and was trying to conceal the evidence. Cunning. Why would someone lock up a book like that?
We think it's a secret diary.
Aha! Teenagers are funny, aren't they?
I like the way this guy laughs.
Where did you find that?
It was in the library.
Really? How odd. Freya was quite the talent. She had a way of capturing the spirits of her subjects. Not in an evil way, in a good way. That's one of Freya's paintings, is it not? It's impressive, but a little miserable for my tastes. Ah, you found it. What do you think? I had to rush the final touches a little bit. It turned out all right, though.
What's it supposed to be?
It's Flora, of course, surrounded by all her favorite people.
Oh.
I've been carving for a couple of years now. I was hopeless when I started, but it didn't take me long to master it, as you can see.
Do you paint them yourself too?
I do indeed, yes. Freya kindly taught me the basics. Nowadays, I can make just about anything I can imagine. Of course, this particular model is a self-portrait based on hard fact.
Hard fact.
Hard fact, huh?
So, you own a sword, Felix?
Of course, I own a great many. But my weapons are stored well away from Tangle Tower.
Of course they are.
Safety first and all that.
Okay.
There's something about Felix's painting supplies. Something suspicious.
Let's ask him about it.
There's something about the image of Flora in the painting. Something suspicious.
Oh.
Let's ask her about it.
Okay. So,
about this paint we found in your room.
Nothing suspicious about it. I used it to paint, obviously. Totally normal thing to do.
We never said it was suspicious.
Come on then, out with it. What exactly are you accusing me of?
not your paint pot.
It's not your paint pot. Did you take it from somewhere else?
What on earth? It's definitely mine. I even have proof. Look, the lid matches the ones on all my other paint pots. End of discussion.
That's not the end of the discussion.
We need to compare with Felix's red paint. Something to prove who it actually belongs to.
Like Freya's paints.
Let's take a closer look at this.
Freya's red paint pot was used to paint the model of a bird, but the lids are swapped to hide it. No, because this is blood. Was stolen. Was broken by. Is full of. Was used to paint the model of a bird. Broken by Felix. I don't know if they were broken. I don't think the lids were swapped. Oh yes, the lids were swapped. Look at the label. No, it's not the lids were swapped. The whole paint pot is different. Was stolen. And the lids are swapped to hide it.
Freya's red paint pot was stolen and replaced with Felix's red paint pot, but the lids were swapped to hide it.
That red paint is from Freya supplies, not yours. Swapping the lids doesn't hide what you did.
Why are you bothering me about paint anyway? And none of this is connected to your murder.
Well, it technically is, because blood was used to fill up this red paint pot. After before Freya used it to paint Fiora.
Blood was used to fill up this red paint pot before Freya used it to paint Flora. Nope.
Several weeks ago?
Blood was used to fill up this red paint pot by Freya several weeks ago.
Okay, never mind. Okay. Was somehow filled with blood.
This red paint pot was somehow filled with blood before Freya used it to paint Flora.
Oh, that's definitely something. Right, fine. Here's the story.
Okay.
I was busy working on a project when I suddenly realized I had run out of red paint. There was a certain amount of time pressure, so I politely asked Freya if I could borrow hers. Just for a little while, you know. Perfectly reasonable request.
Yep.
But she said no.
I tried to explain why I needed it, but she didn't seem to care. So, well, I took Freya's red paint pot and swapped it with my own empty one.
You went into her room?
Not my proudest moment, but it's just paint. I didn't touch anything else.
And the paint pot you left behind was definitely empty?
Quite. I have absolutely no idea how it got blood in it, if that's what you're asking.
Why were you in such a hurry to get a hold of red paint anyway?
I was trying to finish this in time for Flora's birthday.
Oh.
I needed red to paint the final details.
Could you not have just used a different color?
Out of the question. It had to be red and white.
If you managed to finish it,
The chicken.
why haven't you given it to Flora yet?
Well, I decided against it in the end. After what happened, seemed a bit insensitive.
Okay.
So, this painting, specifically that knife in Flora's hand.
Yeah, it's creepy. But we didn't find a knife anywhere in the room. So what's going on?
Not a knife.
It's not a knife.
It's something else. I haven't clocked out what it is yet.
Compare with the painting. Something to explain what that knife shape actually is.
But I should already know, huh? Is it a fucking feather? Is it like one of these feathers?
That kinda makes sense.
Is it the fucking trowel?
That kinda makes sense.
Look at this! What's this? Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Let's take a closer look at this. The painted knife is actually just a feather from an ink dip bird.
It's definitely the right shape. But the book's not in color. The thing Flora's holding in the painting is red and white, specifically. Is there anything to suggest that the ink-dip bird is red and white too?
Yes, there is. The painted model. Red and white inked bird.
This little thing? I don't understand why Felix would make a model of this bird as part of a gift for Flora. And come to think of it, why would Flora be holding a feather in the painting anyway?
The inked bird was Flora's pet, so she kept a single feather to remember it by.
The ink-dip bird was Flora's pet, so she kept a single feather to remember it by.
I'm fucking good.
The bird as a pet.
I'm so good.
And it died?
Maybe.
Well, it's the last
Maybe it
bird.
flew away.
Flora spent
That's
a
why
lot
she
of time
was staring out of the window.
Either way, she kept the feather. I think it was pretty important to her.
Alright. So she was holding the feather while Freya was painting her. But where is it now? You'd think she'd keep it somewhere close by.
Yeah, I think she does. Normally.
It's
This is
normally
where
in the
Flora
egg!
keeps her feather.
In the fucking egg, boy!
But we opened it. It's empty.
Mm-hmm. Completely empty. Flora? She's pointing at something in the corner of the room.
It's just a pile of books. They're not... Wait. There's something tucked inside this one.
I looked at the books! You wouldn't let me open the books! Do you know why I knew it was the books? Because when they do moving a room to room thing and they come into this room, you see symbolism in this room. You see the gramophone, you see the egg, you see the odd plant, and you see the books. And I'm like, I want to look at those books. And it wouldn't let me look at the books. Let me look at everything else but the books. Drawings of Fiora and a small bird. These are for you, love Freya. Oh, she drew pictures of her. Oh, from a little itty bitty bird.
I like these drawings, Flora.
Is there a reason why you wanted us to see them?
Oh, okay.
This is a photo of Fifi, isn't it? Your daughter?
Okay. We're getting there. So what are we going to do with the ink dip bird? Let's talk to Penelope about it. Oh, we can cut through there now. That's kind of cool. Oh, we haven't asked her about half the shit. What?
I'm sure I've read about this creature somewhere. Don't remember anything about him playing the harp, though.
She's not going to know anything about the empty egg, is she?
Thing, isn't it? Flora seems very fond of it. I've never understood why. But then I could say the same thing about her husband.
Heyo!
Heyo!
I don't know what that is.
Okay.
Ooh, delightful. More of a gemstone than a fruit, isn't it?
Inedible, too, I think.
Yes. At one point I thought Fitz might be growing them to sell them. But honestly, I think he just likes the way they look.
Oh.
Oh, did Fitz show you that?
Not exactly.
We found it hidden under his bed.
Ah, right. A bit vain to carve wooden figurines of oneself, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken, that little red and white one is supposed to be a bird of some kind.
Ink dip bird.
What's that bird? But these must have been drawn at least a year ago. Oh, how sad.
Oh.
Yes, it's my, my flower.
You don't like it?
I'm no good at caring for plants. I forget to water them. Birds are much easier. They're a lot more vocal when they get thirsty.
Do you at least like the look of the flower?
The look?
The colors? The shape of it?
Between you and me, I think it's a little vulgar. Haven't seen this one in a while. He lives in the music room, doesn't he?
Currently.
Ooh, it's
Ooh.
diary.
That's our guess too.
Excellent. That's rather strange now, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
We found it in your room.
Just lying around, was it?
Nope. You'd hidden it, but we found it.
We do that.
Who's the her in the message? And what's the deal with the petals?
It's really none of your business.
Ooh.
Lovely. There used to be all kinds of birds here at Tangle Tower. The most fascinating breeds, all totally unique.
Used to be? There are birds all over the place.
Most of them are rather ordinary, I'm afraid.
What happened to the non-ordinary ones?
That is a very good question. I can't decide what's worse. How she looks here, or how she looks now.
Do you know who this is? In the photo?
Oh, absolutely no idea.
Are we gonna have to link this fucking tape player to a...
Looks a little simple for Poppy, doesn't it? Thought she was a grade 12 or something.
I didn't know there were that many grades.
I'm sure they invented some new ones just for her. Freya was very talented, even at that age.
Do you know how old this photo is?
Not sure. Must be a couple of years at least.
Yeah.
Sometime before Fiona settled on her current style.
Okay.
There's something about those petals we found in Penny's room. Something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
Okay.
So, yeah, we found this.
Oh, that's nothing.
You wrote, "Now I'll get her," on a piece of paper and hid it in your room.
Yeah,
That's not nothing.
that's not knowing.
Actually, it's not the message I wanted to ask about.
The petals?
It's those red flower petals.
Yeah.
The petals.
They're from red roses. And there's only one place in Tangle Tower with red roses.
We need a clue. Something that shows the roses and who they belong to. It's a drawing of Fitz and Poppy in the rooftop garden. See what Fitz is holding?
I can't imagine what you're getting at, but it doesn't matter. I couldn't have taken anything from the rooftop garden. It's only accessible from Fitz's room or Poppy's room. How could I have taken something from a garden to which I have no access?
Is it really only accessible from those two bedrooms?
For most people, it would be. But don't forget, Penny's the resident ornithologist.
My dears, what are you accusing me of?
Oh, what a pair of spurs. Was used to spy on Poppy and Fritz. Was used to kill. Was stolen from. But it didn't work. Still money? Because they were planning a murder? And steal evidence from them. Is that it?
One of Penny's birds was used to spy on Poppy and Fitz and steal evidence from them. We know those two have been spending time together in the rooftop garden. I'm guessing you got paranoid. Wanted to know what they were up to.
I'm just not the jealous type. I would never suspect Fitz of anything like that. Besides, Tabitha hardly ever leaves her cage. She's certainly never flown up to the rooftop garden.
We need a clue to compare with Penny's birds. Something to prove one
We
of them
got
has
the
been-
feathers! We got the feathers! Feathers, bitch!
Let's take a closer look at these.
Yeah, Tabitha. You dumb. Okay. This yellow feather was left behind by Penny's yellow bird when it visited the rooftop garden.
This yellow feather was left behind by Penny's yellow bird when it visited the rooftop garden.
I can't stand it! Knowing the two of them are hidden away up there in their private little garden. I couldn't risk spying on them myself, so I asked dear Tabitha to do it for me. I knew she'd be able to bring me back some evidence.
Sorry, Penny, but are you not overreacting a little?
You don't understand. Fitz is slipping away from me. He's so
Aww.
quiet with me these days. But being with Poppy seems to bring him out of his shell. I don't know what he sees in her miserable little... I apologize. This really isn't your burden to bear.
Okay. Well, next we're going to go talk to Fitz. But before we do that, I'm going to call it there. And I'm going to save the game. It's already auto saves, right?